I'm gonna finish it in one day. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I feel like it's been so long since I've said those words because I don't know if you've heard, but I've been dating a lot of influencers recently, going a lot of dates, making a lot of pottery. I'm obviously talking about my YouTube show Clay Date, which is on my YouTube channel. You can check it out in the link in the comment. You can check it out in the description. I'll add the link which has all the episodes. So please watch them. Please give me your feedback, comment, like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. I wanted to tell you all everything that happened in my mind and in real life while filming the show, how it was born, who I asked to be on, who ghosted me, who asked for the episodes to be taken down. Literally everything under the sun I'm going to talk about. This is like the Clay Date, behind the scenes, tell all interview. So I'm going to tell you everything. I'm so excited. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for all your love on Clay Date. I have really appreciated it. I've taken all your feedback as well. I know there's been some feedback on audio and lighting and stuff like that, and I'm working on it. There will be a season 2 and I'm so excited. The whole reason I started Clay Date was because I started this YouTube channel a little over a year ago in March of last year, and I loved it. Like, this was my dream to be a YouTuber, and I was vlogging, posting taste tests, like just fun hangs with my friends, and it was really fun. But towards the end, it just got like kind of monotonous for me, and I wasn't enjoying the content I was making. And I was like, you know what, I need some content that people can come back for. Like, I need a show, I need a property. And this is something that was constantly like in my mind for basically the whole year. But I just was first underconfident, and I was like, I don't know what the show will be. I was kind of waiting for an idea to come to me or someone to come to me and say, hey, I want to make this with you. But I didn't have any ideas of my own. So I was like, okay, whatever, just waiting around. And then I kind of like stopped being consistent with my YouTube posting. So I was like, okay, I feel like a show is what I need to like ground me, to have consistent posts going up on my YouTube channel. And like, I need to figure this out. So one day, basically one night, I was crying to my boyfriend, as I usually do, and I was just like, we need to figure out something I can do for my YouTube channel, like a YouTube show. And first I thought of this idea where I would go around Bombay and do different activities with different guests, and that was a great idea. But basically then I figured that it would be really high production, like kind of expensive, too much to coordinate. And like literally in 5 minutes of having that idea, I was like, wait, that feels like a big task. I need something like small. I need a baby step. I need like something that is super manageable, that I can shoot multiple off in the same day. Also at this time, and literally till the day before I started filming for Clay Date, I was under the impression that I was going to sponsor this whole thing, like on my own. I didn't have any brands on board yet. So I was like, I need to also keep it very within budget, because you know, I'm living that fun employment life. Then after this idea, my boyfriend actually suggested, he was like, hey, one of your things is pottery, right? One of your activities is that. That's like a cool thing that you can do with a guest every episode, and it can be different because you can make different things in each episode. And I was like, that is the most genius idea ever. Thank you so much. And I already had a connect with Batul. Batul is the amazing potter who helped us with everything. We filmed at her studio. She has a pottery studio called It's Therapeutic. We filmed at her studio. She was my senior in school, and I had actually done a bunch of like pottery classes with her. And for my birthday the year before, I had a pottery party, which basically I called like 10 of my friends, and we sat in her studio and we made our own pottery things, and it was so much fun. And I was like, I love pottery because it's so calming to do, and when I'm doing it, whoever I'm doing it with, I end up having the best conversations with. Because you know, when you're doing like an activity, you just feel like grounded, and your mind is like not really like overthinking what you're saying. So it's just easy to have like a funner, freer flowing conversation. So that was like the idea behind why pottery worked, and I was like, amazing. So I reached out to Batul. She was on board. I was like, great. I got Aryan, who films our podcast, to film my show for me. He was very kind. He agreed. He also did the lighting and audio, which is amazing because I know nothing about lighting and audio. So I was like so grateful to have that taken off my plate. And then I also reached out to Vinayak. Vinayak is the editor of HST as well. He edits the reels right now, but at some point he used to edit the YouTube videos. He is also like a director, works on different podcasts, works on Netflix shows. Like, he is amazing. And I was like, please, can you edit my YouTube video for me? Please, can you edit the show for me? And he was like, yeah, I can. I would love to. I was like, I'm so happy. Thank you so much for helping me. It was really like such a weight off my shoulders when he said, I will help you edit this, because I know he has like that vision that I needed, and I really needed like his help into like making the show that I wanted to do. I'd spoken to a bunch of other editors, but everyone I spoke to just seemed like either they were too young and like early starting stages, or they were too like they had only edited like super professional like movies and things, and never like just a talk show or like a vibey thing for YouTube. So Vin was like the perfect guy, and I was like, amazing, thank you so much. For my guests, I was like, I can only do this if Sakshi is going to do it with me. Like, if she's going to be a guest on this show and like grace me with her presence, because Sakshi is just the most fun and honestly like the best. She was so helpful to me, like with anything I needed. She was like, do you need help with contacts? Do you need help with like production? Do you need help with anything? She was like, I'll help you. She was like, I'll come, I'll sit behind the camera if you want me to sit behind the camera. And I was like, thank you so much. So she was a really big help for me. So I reached out to Sakshi, I reached out to Karima, I reached out to Sheena. These are all the girls that I knew from the podcast / like life and friendship. I asked Sakshi for Alia's number. I know Alia through like YouTube. I've been watching her vlogs for like literally years. And I was like, she is such an icon of YouTube for me that I would love to have her on. And she was so kind. I sent her a text and I was like, hey, got your number from Sakshi. Can you please come on my show? I'm such a fan of you. I would love to have you on and like get your perspective and thoughts. And she was like, instantly, yes, I'll come. Super sweet, super professional. I like loved it. So she came on, and then I had 2 spots left, okay? So I asked Ankita Hasalrani and I got Vriddhi. Vriddhi, I had just started like following on Instagram, and I was like, she is so funny and so cool and vibey. I would love to have her on because she's such a different like character from everyone else I know. So I reached out to her on Instagram. She was so kind. She said, yeah, I'll come on. Ankita agreed and Vriddhi agreed, and I was so happy and so grateful. So these were my 6 guests going into the show. Now, the day before we started filming, I was so stressed. I was so nervous. I was like crying. I didn't know anything from anything. I realized I didn't even have aprons. Super last minute. So literally the day before, I've like run to IKEA, bought aprons, come home, like cried again. First I was like, oh my God, there's no branding on the aprons. It should have branding. So I like tried to speak to some printers, didn't work out. My boyfriend was like calling everyone he knew in Bombay, and he was like, do you know any printers? But nothing was working out with the printing. So I was like, okay, Zoe, can you like stitch something in for me? And she was like, I'm not going to stitch it, but I'll stick some thread in a fun way. And it turned out super cute. The aprons were so sweet, and they have like a little like homemade touch, which is basically what this show is. It's like so jagaru in like the way I made it, and the way it came about, but it's like so personal to me and so amazing. So I love that. So really stressed about like the budget of everything just like going over. I was a little under pressure, but then by some grace of God, I had reached out to Fasten Up a month before, like when I had this whole idea, and they were like, yeah, we'll like get back to you. And I was like, okay, cool. They never got back to me. And by some grace of God, the day before I started filming, literally the night before at like 8 p.m, Divya, who has always been at Fasten Up and like helped me with all my brand deals with them, she called me. She was like, hey, we're on board, we want to do this with you. I was literally at my friend Mehek's like birthday dinner, like texting underneath the table, like, yes, okay, this is the deliverable, this is what I'll do, this is what you want, what you need. And she was like, yeah, cool, let's get on a call tomorrow at 11 a.m, an hour before you start filming, and like get all the details ironed out, but we're on board. And I was like, oh my God, thank God, this is amazing. Like, it was such a weight lifted off. So I was like, great, stunning, amazing. Now the day of shoot comes. Everyone arrives at Batul's house where her studio is at like 10 in the morning. Where there, I'm like doing my makeup, on my call with Divya, ironed out all the details, our first guest is Sakshi. Honestly, thank God it was Sakshi as like my first guest that I filmed with, because it was so important to have her to like iron out all the details, to like see how things were flowing. Because even though I had this idea and it was like marinating in my brain, I hadn't had a chance to actually like run through this whole like flow with anyone or do anything. It was my first time, so I was so nervous. But obviously Sakshi, funniest angel on this planet, saying all these stories and saying all these jokes, and she was so fun, and it really helped like figure out how the flow should be, how I should be speaking, how I should be asking the questions. And I'm so grateful she came on as the first guest. I was like, please Sakshi, please will you come on as the first guest, so I like have you as like my support system. And she was like, yes, of course, whatever you need. And I was like, thank you so much, it was such a great help. And actually what I had to do was film 3 episodes in a day. So we filmed over 2 days, 3 episodes per day, so that's 3 guests that came on. We had to rent out the equipment for the day, for 2 days instead of 6 days. She came on, then Karima came on. Karima was so funny, so lovely. Karima actually a favorite episode of a lot of people, and for the best reason ever, because it was such a fun episode. She was so lovely. And my third guest on that day was Vriddhi, who was also so funny and so lovely in person. And I was like, literally when I was talking to her, I was like, it just feels like I'm watching reels. Like every 30 seconds you're telling me some other fun, unique story in your fun way. And that was really fun for me. And then the next day we had Alia in the morning. It was my first time ever meeting Alia, and I was like, when I met her, I was like, why have we not met before? It was so fun to talk to her. The conversation just flowed. It was like I had been friends with her forever. She made it so easy to film with. Honestly, one of my favorite episodes to have filmed, and also my favorite episode to watch. Like, if you ask me, like if you say all the Clay Date episodes are my children, and I know you're not allowed to choose your like favorite child, but like Alia's episode I think was like my favorite child. Like I just loved it. I loved what we spoke about. I loved the flow. I like loved everything about it. Second guest on that day was Sheena, who weirdly I was so nervous to film with, because on Instagram you just see Sheena and she like tells it how it is, and she's very like to the point. If she doesn't like something, she'll like talk about it on Insta and like expose them. So I don't know why I was so scared. I've met her before and she is only the sweetest, nicest. If she ever sees me alone at any of these influencer events, she's always like coming up to me and talking to me. So I don't know why I was stressed about that. There was no need to be stressed because her episode flowed so well. My family's favorite episode is Sheena's episode. The conversation with her was also so different than what I've heard her speak about, and also I feel like I got to know so much about her, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed getting to know her a bit more. My last guest to film with, like my 6th guest, my 3rd guest on that day, was supposed to be Ankita. Now here's the tea with what happened with Ankita. So I filmed Friday and Monday. Now all the Friday guests had texted on like Wednesday saying like, hey, reminder, whatever, these are your call times. And they were all like, yeah, cool. On Saturday, I texted all the people who were coming on Monday and I was like, hey, just confirming, like, these are your call times. And Ankita couldn't make it. And I was like, oh my God. And like I tried to change around her timings and stuff like that, but it was just not working out. So on Saturday night, I basically realized that I didn't have a 6th guest. And I was like, oh my God, I need to find a 6th guest. And I was like scrambling. I was like, who have I not reached out to? Because guys, I reached out to like literally everyone you can think of. I've reached out to. It's not worked out because of scheduling issues, or they've just fully ghosted me. Like I reached out to Purva, Naina, Urfi, anyone you've seen on HST I have reached out to. And I even reached out to like Ranveer Alabadia. I was like, hey, I know you're not even doing your own podcast, but will you come on to my podcast? And he follows me on Instagram, but he has just not opened this text. So that's fine. No stress. I would still love to have him on. But basically, I've reached out to everyone, like even like super unattainable, like Samay Raina. I like messaged my boyfriend. I was like, if you get Virat Kohli, I'll come to Bombay and I'll hang out with you for this episode. So I was like, okay, let me DM Virat Kohli. And yes, you guessed it, Virat Kohli has not even checked his Instagram DM. Like by the time he checked his Instagram DM, my DM was probably so buried. He has not checked it. No one has checked it. And anyway, whatever. So I was scrambling for a guest last minute, and I was like, let me reach out to Sherry. She is like the OG YouTuber. She's amazing. I follow her on Instagram. She follows me. I was like, I can try and reach out to her. I had her number as well. So I was like, let me just text her. And I texted her, and she was interested on Saturday, but she had like a shoot come up on Monday. So I was like, oh my God, that sucks. It wasn't working out. So basically, on Sunday, like 8 p.m. Sunday, I was under the impression that it was going to be my sister as the sixth guest, because I was like, we have the space, we have the time, everything is ready. I just need a guest. You come on, Zoe, and like be the guest on that show, and like we'll do a fun recap or whatever of the series. And then by like, I don't know, like there was just miracle after miracle happening for Claydate to work out. And Sherry calls me at like literally like 8:30 p.m. on Sunday. The shoot is on Monday. And she's never called me before, right? We don't really know each other. And she's called me and she's like, hey, do you still need a guest for your show on Monday at 5 p.m.? And I was like, yes, I do. And she was like, okay, I can make it, because my like videographer who was going to film with her that day fell sick. And I was like, God bless her videographer. I hope he is so well right now, but I'm so glad that he is sick today. I hope it's a mild fever, but I'm so happy that he like basically rescheduled her shoot. So she was free. And honestly, Sherry as my guest, iconic, amazing. I learned so much from just being around her and just like hearing her stories. And I'll tell you guys, Sherry is a full-time yapper. Like she's a part-time YouTuber, part-time model, part-time host, part-time amazing person, full-time yapper. She was literally like talking. She arrived at like 5:30, which was her call time, and she was just talking from 5:30 till like 9:30, till like we had our wrap up and then we had to leave. She literally stayed till after her shoot, like just talking to me, my sister, Batul, all of us, and like we were all just like listening to her stories, and it was just so entertaining. I didn't even realize so much time had passed, and it was honestly amazing, and an amazing end to that like 2 days of shooting. It felt really like lovely. Honestly, after we filmed those things and everything went well, I was like, this is so great. I'm so proud of myself for actually doing it. I'm so happy. We got the edit process started. Sakshi's episode took like the most, I feel like, iterations to like get the vibe right and like what we wanted. We were like working out all the kinks. And then after that, every episode was like 2 drafts basically, one first draft and then one like final draft. In the edit process, the credits, if you watch the show, is my favorite part of the series. Like it is my favorite touch, and it was Vinayak's idea. So we always had the idea that I wanted the guests to like unbox their item on camera and like show it to you guys, and like so everyone can see what it actually turned in. But Vinayak had the best idea, which was to make the credits funny. And like, so every episode has different credits, and they're supposed to be like funny and quirky and like cute. And I think it's like my favorite thing ever. Like in one of the credits, I thank ChatGPT. It's amazing. So the Vridhi Patwa episode basically came out at 7 p.m. as usual on Friday, and she saw it. She said, hey, it's nice, but I don't like how I'm looking in the video. Like I feel like the color correction is a bit off. I'm looking a little orange. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But I think you look amazing. And honestly, the comments were all positive about her and how they're seeing a different side of her. And I was like, you know what, don't stress, it's amazing. And she just kind of let it go. She posted about her story, which was amazing. And I was like, great. The next day, she sent me this long message about like how she didn't feel like she was well represented in the video. And it was a Reddit thread on how she was like looking different. And it was basically like lots of hate on that thread and lots of negativity. And obviously no one likes seeing negativity about themselves online. So she was like, this is just not making me feel good. I don't feel like this is an accurate representation of who I am. And like instantly as I read that, I was like, that is obviously never my intention, to make anyone look bad or to make anyone look different from how they are. I felt like she looked amazing. She looked beautiful. She is beautiful. She is stunning on her Insta, in my video, in her videos. And honestly, that wasn't even a thought in my mind. But I don't want anyone to feel like, I don't want anyone to have any negative vibes from a video that I make and put out. That's just never my intention. So I was like, listen, if you want me to take down the video, I'm happy to take it down. And she was like, yeah, please take it down. So I was like, cool. And I took it down. Like, it's really not that deep. There's no bad blood. See, it was like a little hard because we'd already worked hard on this video, given time, energy, money towards this thing. But at the end of the day, if someone is not happy with how they are coming across in a piece of content that you have full control over, like taking down, then that's the way to do it. Like, it's not that deep. It's a YouTube video at the end of the day. It's okay. And so that's why the Vriddhi Patwa episode has been taken down. These things honestly happen all the time. They are to be expected that some things will go wrong, someone won't be happy. And yeah, I think note taken that I'll just have my episodes ready earlier and like send it for like QC to the guest who's there so that they're happy with what goes on. Obviously, color correction, edit taken. A lot of you mentioned audio issues, so that edit also taken. And honestly, a lot of you have loved it also, so that edit also taken. That we'll keep a lot of it the same as well. And honestly, this was my first time doing something like this, so I'm really excited that I could do it. I'm really proud of myself. I feel like if you guys want to do something and you're nervous like me or unsure of yourself like I was, honestly, I'm still unsure of myself, and I've done it and people have given me like positive feedback, but I'm still like, oh, can I do this again? Will other people want to come on? And like, there's a lot of self-doubt, but the only way to get over the self-doubt is to just do it and just start. And the like pride I feel in myself to like follow this dream and like have it done and have it out there in the world is truly amazing. So yeah, I think that covers everything. If you have any more questions about Claydate, anything about how it happened, guests you want to see, any other content ideas also, let me know in the comments. We have a blooper/outtakes video coming out next week, and after that, some other fun, exciting content on my YouTube channel. I feel like my YouTube channel is back. I'm going to do lots more. So if you have any ideas for shows I can do or people I can talk to, let me know in the comments and I will get that done. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting. And yeah, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and God bless. Live your life. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.